look at them right on the surface.
Awesome. I haven't got the third rod down yet.
You are good. No, I don't mind this at all. When you have all this chaos,
It's fun.
why do we need 6 rods? We just have 2 rods out, we got a fish on each one. When you think of it, we're so close to such major centers, like Toronto, we're right in front of St. Catharines. People can come out, even if they don't have the gear and they don't have the boat or the lures, hire you for a few hours or all day, come out here and have a blast. Kim, getting these salmon, have a chance of getting some real trophy fish. Ideal for families, you know, husband and wife, and for kids. You must get quite a few families where they bring their kids out on the boat.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a lot. With the size of the boat that I have, it's got a full washroom on board, so it's very family friendly.
So it's just an easy way to fish, and you don't have to travel far, and the fish are plentiful. The only thing is sometimes that water is a consideration, like how rough the surface is, you know.
And I mean, you have to look at that before we go out, and if
Of
it's
course.
too rough, I mean, it'd be fine for us to fish
Yeah.
because we're used to it.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be fun if people are not feeling well on board. So
Look at this, he's right on top. It's awesome. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Here he comes.
It's a rainbow trout.
Okay, now we're going to be
Whoa.
releasing a rainbow. That's a nice rainbow.
yeah.
You know, this is amazing that you can get such a mix of fish here. We just got that nice Chinook. This is a nice rainbow. It looks like a female. She's about, I'm guessing 8-9 pounds, Aldo.
Yes.
I'm going to put that there. Let me get the glove on
It's
again.
a gorgeous fish.
That I
Whoa.
threw here. Is he still in the
Almost
boat?
jumped out.
That's okay, just went back into the well. Yeah, these fish have so much energy. You know, they call them steelhead. You look at this fish, look at how bright they are. They're almost chrome. So this is a nice female. She's got a rounded head, but very silver and feeding. So I'm gonna get it back into the net. And Aldo, if you can keep it over the side again, just so that it gets some water. And you know what? That fish is ready. We netted it so quick. Anytime you wanna reverse that mesh, it's gonna go out. Look at it. Beautiful.
There she goes.
Good release job. No wonder it was thrashing on the surface. You ready to get some scales on it?
All right.
You know, if you're planning on fishing the Great Lakes, you usually are trolling down 50 feet or deeper, and sometimes in water as deep as 300-400 feet, depending how far out you are. To efficiently fish that deep, most anglers will use downriggers, and here's the downriggers that we used on the show today. These particular ones are electric, which makes it a lot easier than having to manually lift and lower the cannonball. But downriggers are very efficient. They've been around for about 30-35 years. They work extremely well to get your lures down, but when a fish hits, the line is on a clip, and the line is released off the downrigger, because most of these downriggers have anywhere from about 6 to 10 or 12 pound weight cannonballs that deliver the line down to the right depth. So when a fish hits, it releases the line off the release and then comes up. Now, one of the other tools that Great Lakes fishermen use is referred to as a dipsy diver. This is called a diving device, and you can see it's a disc, just a round circle. And what happens is, when this is set to dive, and your line is attached to you at the front, and then your line with your bait or lures at the back. When you let this go down in the water, it dives at about this angle, and it keeps that angle. So it'll dive down deep. When a fish hits, this arm pops out just like that, and now it no longer dives. So now you can fight your fish and retrieve it up. So these diving devices are very important. Now, how do you know how deep the fish are? And where you should be running these devices, you got to use a sonar. Now, what I have here is a Humminbird 788, and this is a nice compact sonar. And even sitting here in the marina, you can see on the right that it's marking bottom. Here it's about 16.5 feet. All these lines, believe it or not, are fish underneath us. On half of the screen, you can see that I have the chart. This is the chart for Lake Ontario. So I can go out or in. So this is showing us, this is where we caught most of our fish, right in front of St. Catharines. And this is Port de Lucie. That circle is where we are right now. So I can zoom in or out. So this tool is excellent to tell me exactly where I'm positioned in the world. So in this case, out here on Lake Ontario, these lines that you see here are the actual breaks, the depth breaks. And then on the right, I have my screen. Now I can change the screen. I'm just going to hit the view button here. Now we have the full screen where we see all the fish and the bottom detail. this is this little box is what I'm showing here on a large scale, so I'm zooming in. Okay, so these sonars have lots of features. This is where I have all my readings. The water temperature is 68 degrees Fahrenheit on the surface, and we're in 16.5 feet of water. This is a flasher mode, and then lastly, this is my global positioning mode, so it shows me where I am, Lake Ontario. So having the right gear, like we have here, whether it's the downriggers, diving devices, sonar, right rods and reels, will really ensure that you catch fish when you go out on the Great Lakes.
Fisher girl! Gotta have pink!
Now, you know, sometimes when you're fishing, your line breaks and you have a lot of line out in the water. I've had my line break fighting like a 200-300 pound shark. The line is broken and I've grabbed the line and the shark has been out like 20-30 yards in the water, and I've had to literally hold onto the line that the shark is on and try to make a knot real quick to connect the two lines together. Hopefully that won't happen to you. But the knot I'm about to show you is called a blood knot, and it's used to connect two pieces of line together, where if you want to reel the line into your reel, it's not too bulky. So I've got two pieces of line, just like a broken piece, and I'm going to put them so that they're opposing each other. So one's going one way, one the other way. I'm going to take one of the sides, the tag end, and I'm going to wrap it about 4 to 6 times up the line, and I'm going to take the tag end and put it back in the middle where the other tag is. Okay? And now I'm going to take the bottom tag and I'm going to also wrap it about 4, 5, even 6 times together. And I'm going to put it through the middle the opposite way. Okay? So I'll try to hold this up. So there's my 2 wraps, there's my 2 tags, one there, one here. I'm going to hold on to those and I'm going to pull them tight. Watch what happens. Okay? This knot will become very, very tight. Okay? So what I can do now is take my scissors and trim my 2 tags in right close to the knot. And all I have is that little stub connecting the 2 lines. And the line is just as strong where it's connected as the main line on either side. So it's a very good knot to use when you're connecting 2 pieces of line when the knot is actually going to be going into your reel. Because if the line is too bulky, the knot is too bulky, when you go to cast, it's going to get stuck. The line will get caught on it. So it's a very good knot to know.